Hi, this is Cengiz from Geekade here with Ian from Dauntless, and we're going to talk about their newest build of the game. So Ian, Dauntless was still in closed beta, has had a lot of popularity. How do you feel about the current growth of the community?
Oh, we're beyond thrilled about the growth of the community. We've seen thousands and thousands of people come in, not only from the monster hunting community, also from the Warframe community, from the Destiny community, the broader Twitch community. We've seen people from the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Germany, France, Spain, Brazil, Russia, Africa, Australia, anywhere you can name it. We've got people playing, and it's beyond a thrill. You work on a game for 3 or 4 years, and then finally to have people around the world playing it, it's a dream come true.
I know I definitely keep track of the roadmap that comes out. A lot of interesting stuff on the horizon. What would you say in the current build, what would you say is you're most excited about?
I'm probably most excited about the new traversal options we've put on the island. So as a company, one of our core philosophies is to work really closely with our community. And one of the things we heard back is, I love hunting behemoths, I love building weapons and armor, I love the story, I love the characters, I love the place. But when I'm on the islands, they feel a little empty. And so what we did is we went and we said, okay, how can we start to introduce new ways to interact with islands? How can we make the moment-to-moment of exploring the islands more interesting? And we put these little ether jump jets in that allow you to traverse and get to new areas. It's a small thing, but it's a symbol of how we are committed to listening to that player feedback, and it's a signal towards where we're going in the future, and I think it's nothing but clear skies.
I definitely like the traversals. It makes it, when you have to chase a monster when it runs away, it makes it a lot more, instead of like, oh, I have to go all the way around. Yeah, I fell off this cliff, but I can't really jump back up this cliff.
Exactly.
But I noticed I played in the demo, I'm sure you'll see in our video, I played the hammer. And definitely the hammer has had some changes to it that I really appreciate. Are there any other weapon changes that I haven't experienced yet?
So we also redid the axe. Maybe not redid, maybe kind of just give it a little bit of an overhaul. So what you notice with the hammer is we wanted to be really deliberate, but also have some more momentum. It feels good to kind of blast around and be able to come down on top of the behemoth. So we added that. What you're seeing with the axe is we know that really what it's about is calling your shots, really picking your moments, and then dropping that axe for huge hits. And so we actually added what we're calling determination. Wait, I can't remember what we're calling. Anyway, we're adding super armor, basically for all you fighting game fans out there. And what that does is it makes it so that if you're in the last charge of your hit, or when you're bringing on your super hit, you're not going to get staggered. You're still going to take damage, but you're not going to get staggered backwards. And what that allows you to do as an axe player is when you've got that momentum, when you're calling that shot, you can bring that axe down for a big hit and not have to worry about consequences.
I was curious what that shine was when I was doing the last bit. That's the super armor. That's awesome. Are there any other weapon changes you have on the pipeline coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. So our philosophy around weapon changes is that we want to be looking at whatever the last weapon that got updated was and say, okay, what have we learned from the other weapons? What have we learned from the behemoths? What have we learned from the islands? And where are we going to go from here? And so I think the next up is probably chain blades. Chain blade's one of the most popular weapons by far when it came out. It's super fun. It's great to feel like a ninja. But what we saw is, people weren't really sure about the damage. People that were using heavy attacks all the time, overpowered. People that were using the fast attacks all the time, underpowered. So I think we're kind of due for an overhaul, kind of a re-examination of the dynamics between heavy and light attacks, close versus ranged. And then we're also going to be overhauling elemental damage and elemental systems. And that's going to play a really big role in the chain blades. You're going to see the chain blades not only be that fast kind of ninjutsu weapon, but also the elemental weapons. So look forward to that. And then I think sword is probably after that. And then we've got at least one more weapon in the oven. We have confirmed that we're going to have a ranged weapon. So we're working on that. I don't know if it's going to be the next weapon, but we are working on it.
That's awesome. I know for sure that that was something that the pike kind of delivers, but I'm really excited to see what you guys do. What your spin on a ranged weapon is. Now, largely the behemoths are all creatures you could see in real life that kind of get mutated into these monsters, these kaiju-esque monsters. Are there any plans for a kind of like a non-beast-like behemoth?
That's a really good question, and I think what's really telling about our team is that if you walk around their desks, what you're going to see on those desks is a lot of anatomy books. Not only human anatomy, but animal anatomy, canine anatomy, feline anatomy, avian anatomy, ursine anatomy. And the thought behind that was, maybe in the future we will have a behemoth that's kind of out there. Maybe we will, but we really want to keep the behemoths initially grounded in what makes an animal terrifying. There's something inside of us as human beings, as animals, that respects and fears that. And we wanted to harness that energy and really make it so that when you see that creature, you're scared. And so we put real effort into making the behemoths plausible, meaning that they have skeletal structures, they have musculature that actually works. So you're never going to see a creature that's kind of like sliding and oozing. It's always going to be moving like a creature. And that allows you as a player to tap into your instincts as a slayer and react appropriately. In the future, sky's the limit, no pun intended. Sky's the limit, and who knows what Ether will bring to life. But for now, we want to nail the landing on beasts and go from there.
Now, well, one last thing. I know personally when I played, the Gathering is fun, little distraction. Are you ever going to involve any kind of like smaller monsters that kind of like you can kind of hunt in between?
That's a great question. So I touched on that a little bit when I talked about the jump jets and adding more activities. We're going to add even more gathering stuff as well. So we are going to have additional what we call fauna, little creatures that you can interact with. We're toying around with, should they be aggressive? Should they be passive? Should they be elusive? Should they be, kind of gatherable? And we're going to be looking to player feedback for that. It's really important to us that, this is something that players have asked us for, so we want to get their feedback on. And there's going to be other ways to gather too. So you'll encounter things like crashed airships, destroyed villages, people that are looking for your help that you can bring back to Ramsgate. And some of those events will be dynamic. Some of those events will be planned out as part of side quests. And I think overall, it's just like to your point, while you're on the island, having as much to do as possible.
That's amazing. I'm totally looking forward to it. Can't wait to get back in. Thank you very much for watching. This is Cengiz again from Geekade. Stay tuned for more content from PAX East.